What the fuck was that? What was that? You expect me to be happy with that finale? Are you smoking pot? Serious question. Are you smoking pot if you thought that this was actually going to be a satisfying ending? It's not. In fact, I'd go so far as to call it bad. Yeah, I fucking said it. Welcome to my very angry, very disappointed, and very frustrated review of Mockingjay Part 2. It sucks. It is just as bad as Divergent Allegiant, if not even worse. Now, is it worse than Twilight? Oh, hell no. That fucking sewage pile is in its own category of terrible. But this was not good. It took all the problems of Mockingjay Part 1, amplified them 1,000-fold, added a bunch of new problems, and somehow found a way to make it even more cluttered and more confusing. Not to mention the big ending itself. It just felt like a kick in the balls because they built everything up so well in the first two Hunger Games movies. And then somehow, in this one, it just screams cash grab. Unlike Deathly Hallows, which took its time and actually did a good job adapting the source material while also giving a very, very satisfying conclusion to a great saga that lasted 10 years. What did this do? Anger everyone who watched it. This is one of the worst franchise-ending movies that I've ever seen in my life. Plain and simple. The acting is somehow even worse. The writing is terrible. The freaking dialogue is clunky as hell. The music is boring. The action is boring. The pacing is terrible. The shocker cliffhanger from part 1 is completely thrown away and doesn't even have any consequence in the story whatsoever outside of one opening scene that doesn't even last 5 fucking minutes. And the big final conclusion itself doesn't even last a full 15 minutes. This screamed desperate. This screamed cash grab. This screamed that the passion was gone and they just wanted it done so that they could get the money as fast as possible. Fuck you. Plain and simple. Fuck you. How dare you screw over your fans like that? How dare you think that this was even remotely passable? How dare you think that this is even in any way whatsoever a satisfying conclusion to what should have been a great series? Yes, I understand that the book's not perfect either, but at least the book tried to find a way to make it feel coherent. This just flat out sucked. And when I watched this entire series from start to finish for the first time, it made me realize just how bad this ending really is. You want to know why it took so long for us to finally get another movie that's coming out tomorrow and why they had to make it a prequel? Because this fucked up the entire franchise. Because this is a movie so bad that it almost makes the entire franchise inconsequential and pointless. Because if the ending's gonna suck this bad, why should I waste my time watching any of the rest of it? Honest fucking question. Think about it. Think about this for a second. What if Deathly Hallows, think about this. What if Deathly Hallows wasn't good? What if it was a boring conclusion? What if they half-assed it? What if they didn't even fucking try to give us something satisfying? You'd be pissed too. That's how I feel with this. It's disappointing, it's frustrating, and it's fucking bad. And every single time I watch it, it's only gotten worse. And I can only hope and pray that Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is way better than this piece of shit. Terrible ending to a franchise and just a terrible movie in general. Does that make me one of the few that's willing to call Summit out on their bullshit? Probably. But you know what? I have not been one of those kind of people that hides my opinion from other people. No. I make my opinion loud and I make it clear, no matter how many fucking people I piss off by saying it. It's my opinion and I am entitled to it. And I've told you guys all before, I did not start this channel to be an IGN wannabe. I started this channel to be honest with you. And honestly, this movie is terrible. And it almost ruins any point of watching the entire franchise at all. Hell, even the great movies of the franchise, the first two films, I can't even watch those in good conscience anymore because this is that type of finale that even hurts the other movies because it still all leads up to this fuck up. I got nothing left to say, man. This movie blows ass, and it's only gotten worse every single fucking time I see it. And Deathly Hallows came out, what, a year before this? Fucking unacceptable. Or hell, how long ago was it that Return of the King came out? Yes, I understand the movie had a far longer runtime and a bigger budget. I get that, but my point is, there have been satisfying sequel conclusions before this shit even came out, which gives it no fucking excuse to be this bad. I'm done. Final verdict for this disappointing, frustrating, terrible fucking garbage pile is a 2 out of 10. Yes, it's the only bad movie in the franchise, but it's a movie so bad that it almost ruins the whole fucking thing. Yes, it really is that bad. Thankfully, though, like I said, Battle of the Songbirds and Snakes comes out tomorrow, and I'm hoping it gives this movie franchise a better installment to go out on. Yes, it's a prequel, I get that, but at least it'll be something fucking different. Sorry for the F-bombs in this one, guys. This movie just pisses me off the more I think about it. Because I love the first two, and sure I had my problems with part one, but it's still watchable. It's still entertaining enough. This just fucking sucks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. I better stop now before I end up either screaming or talking in fucking circles. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry for getting angry here, but it's all genuine. And I appreciate you guys watching me anyway, despite whatever words come out of my mouth. And if you're one of the people that somehow like this movie, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion as long as you're not a fucking asshole about it in my comments. Alright? Okay, you guys are awesome. So, there. Now I'm all caught up. I reviewed Tangled, I reviewed Winnie the Pooh, I reviewed Wreck-It Ralph, and I just reviewed the final 3 original Hunger Games movies. And I had to cancel my Trolls reviews because I was so far behind. And also because I just didn't want to torture myself any more than I already had to with this piece of shit. So, I'll see you guys next time for a day 1 review of the hopefully much better Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, where we can finally close the book on this franchise and move on to something else. Later.